1-2. Swinging a drive to left center, struck well. Simpson on his horse all the way to the alley. Dives! And did he catch it? Oh, yes, he did! Wow!
With spring training in full swing, baseball players are flashing leather all over the field. In recent decades, much of the sport's equipment has been made overseas. But one company refuses to export that work and still makes leather baseball gloves that are 100% made in the USA. Manuel Bojorquez takes us to Nokona, Texas, where it all comes together.
It's not until you see a baseball glove being assembled that you learn just how intricate a job it is. Each one is made from 45 different materials, 25 leather parts just for the shell, and 120 holes to lace it all together.
We stamp, we embroider.
The details may be too inside baseball for most, but it's the life work of Rob Story, Executive Vice President of the Nokona Ball Glove Factory.
So what is so special about a Nokona glove?
We consider them to be world class. We've been doing this for so long, we know the ins and outs of making them.
It all started back in 1923, when Story's great-grandfather got into the business of making leather purses and wallets. In this small town 90 miles northwest of Dallas, the name Nokona with a K is inspired by a Comanche chief. But just a few years into production, the Great Depression hit. Story's grandfather, Big Bob Story, came up with a novel idea to keep the company afloat: manufacture baseball gloves for America's favorite pastime.
So did the gloves save the company in those early years?
Definitely. Once we got into the sporting goods business, we found our feet. We were able to stabilize. And right after the Great Depression, we have World War II comes along. And with that, a really large contract from the U.S. government to make baseball gloves for the soldiers.
In its nearly 100 years making ball gloves, the company has survived everything from economic downturns to fires. But perhaps the biggest threat came in the 1960s and 70s, when the major glove makers moved their manufacturing operations overseas to take advantage of cheaper labor. Big Bob Story wasn't having it.
And he basically said, if I have to close my doors here, send all my friends, employees, who are also probably family, send them home, I'm just going to get a bucket of worms and go fishing.
In other words, he wasn't going to do that.
He wasn't going to do it.
It was a costly decision. Sales leveled off due to competition from cheaper gloves on the market. But Nokona now had a selling point as the only major baseball glove company mass producing all of its baseball gloves in the USA. The fact that loyal customers have kept them going isn't lost on employees, like expert lacer Yolanda Olvera, who has worked here 18 years.
Siente orgullo?
Sí.
You're proud?
Sí, porque gracias a las personas que compran, tenemos trabajo.
Thanks to the people that buy these, you still have the job.
Yes.
And the companies here in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This field, this game, is a part of our past, Ray.
Over the years, the brand's visibility has grown, featured on the big screen in Field of Dreams.
There's no crying in baseball!
Why don't you leave her alone, Jimmy?
Oh, you zip it, Doris!
And A League of Their Own, where they were able to recreate the type of gloves used in the 1940s with their original patterns and cutting dyes. Currently, in the pro leagues, 35 players use Nokona gloves, like Minnesota Twins pitcher Chris Paddock, who we caught up with at spring training in Fort Myers, Florida.
It just goes to show how much effort and time is put into these gloves when they're handmade from the U.S. Where I'm from, it's try and represent these brands for ourselves, but also all the little kids and these younger athletes that look up to us.
Back at the factory, for some longtime employees, there's nothing quite like seeing their work in a major league game.
It's exciting.
Take production supervisor Melinda Reynolds, who has worked here more than 40 years. With her friends, she is on a mission to see her beloved Texas Rangers play at every stadium in the country.
Why do you think people are drawn to Nokona?
Well, I think more and more people are wanting the American made. We do our very best to have the top quality leather and material to make the glove out of.
Rob Story says the company is now exploring new technologies and designs for baseball gloves and other products they make. Always keeping in mind that attitude that has fit them, well, like a glove.
Stubbornness runs through our DNA. We don't have the quit attitude. It's like we're going to figure out some way to make this work.
For CBS Saturday Morning, Manuel Bajorquez, Nokona, Texas.
I love everything about this story.
Yeah.
I love that it's made in America. I love that people are getting behind the brand. And I love that it's like the awareness that, you know, you too can be a part of creating, you know, more for a company that's trying to keep things real.
Yeah, and at a basic level, it's America's pastime.
Yes.
It's nice to see those gloves made in America,
Absolutely.
too.
Let's go get one.
All right, we'll play ball.
Manny, help us out there.